Hi, everybody. I want to warmly welcome you to this session where we are discussing the topic, thoughts I think about myself. Now, we all have a lot of thoughts we think about ourselves. Some are helping us, some are not helping us. And I've got two very special guests here who are going to share their own story and growth as we've been evaluating this. So we have Juvy Garcia.
Hi.
Yay! I think most of you know her because she's in front of the scenes all the time, on the camera, entertains us, and Jubes, you're so awesome.
Thank you.
Now, Khat, Abregana here. Woo! She's behind the scenes most of the time, and she's doing our makeup and our hair, and it's why we sparkle and we look so good, or we hope we look good. And she is so excited to be here in front of the camera now.
Yes.
No, she's not. But anyway, Khat, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. So, in Global Impact, we are doing a lot of different things so that we can grow. Our mission statement is releasing freedom and empowering potential. So it's not only what we want to deliver to others, right? We're doing it ourselves. How do we continue to progress? How do we live limitless? How do we break through barriers? This is what Limitless is all about, actually. So over the last year to year and a half, we've been super intentional about finding out the thoughts we think about ourselves and whether they're helping us or not, whether they're empowering us or disempowering us, whether they're causing us peace and joy or pain, and, you know, the whole gamut of this. And specifically through empowerment coaching, through a course that we've released called Relationship with Self. And I'm just going to get some feedback from Juvy and Khat to share with you how they've been able to go to a deeper level to analyze their own thought and then change that thought, renew the thought, bring it into a better place so that it's producing what they actually want in their life. So Juvy, you went through the Relationship with Self course. And what was kind of one of the shocker thoughts that you found or realized that you were thinking about yourself?
Just one, right?
Just one.
Thank you. Just one, because I have many.
Okay. Tell us one that was like the most, like, you know, like we would all go, ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really one of the shocking thoughts that I think I've thought about myself before, and that is, I am dumb, or I am stupid, or I can't do it, or I will never be good at it, or something like that. And I never really intentionally thought of it, but it's just something that I guess I got used to it every time. And I realized that every time I do something new or a task is assigned to me, that's the first thing. Ta-da!
Seriously.
I am dumb. So,
you know, what's so interesting to hear that is that from my perspective, I would have never thought that you're thinking that, because I look at Juvy and see the fruit in her life and how she is excellent. I give her a task and it gets done with like better than I even expected. So tell me a little bit more about that, which I think is important, because a lot of times what we see on the outside, there could be something very different going on the inside for people, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you would think I'm dumb, really.
Yes, I would think that, and you're right. I don't usually show it, you know. I just, especially if someone asks me, I just do it. But definitely that word, I'm dumb or I'm stupid, I can't do it, or that this empowering thought is always there for me, and it was hard to really, get over it, I guess, and. Yeah, I never thought that I had that until we did the Relationship to Myself course. And when we did that, I was able to see, wow, I'm thinking about this. And that's why I feel every time somebody gives me a task, the first feeling that I have is like, oh, I don't know if I can do it, or like,
really? Wow.
Is she really trusting me with this? But maybe I guess I should just do this, that kind of thing. And so,
no, I never knew that. I didn't know that about that. You thought that so deeply about yourself.
Yes.
It's not because I work with so many people as a coach and prayer. I do know that these things happen. But it's just interesting for me to actually hear you say that. And thank you for sharing that. Because I know there's going to be people out there that can relate to it. And maybe you've never said it to anyone else, but you're thinking it all the time. And what do you think that would you have overcompensated for that? Because sometimes, right? Like sometimes we have a pain or a belief and we say, internally we say, I'm not going to give in to that, so I'm just going to do it even better to prove to myself I'm not dumb.
Yes.
Do you think you did that at all?
Definitely.
Oh, okay.
Definitely, I have done things out of feeling I'm dumb.
Wow.
And
To prove the opposite, right?
To prove the opposite. And I
Yeah.
would say, I have done really amazing things, but it was out from the feeling of I am dumb because I'm trying to prove something.
Yes.
But
Wow.
it doesn't mean that it solved something inside of me. It's still there. Every
Right.
time there's task given, it's still there. It goes, I always go to that pattern of thinking, oh, I'm dumb. I can't really do this. Yeah. So.
And I bet it would have hurt if anybody ever said to you, you're dumb.
Oh yeah, like 100%, 101%,
Yeah.
plus more.
And it would, of course, that's not nice if you say that to somebody, you're dumb. That's definitely not nice. But when you believe that yourself down deep,
Yes.
that is like a knife that goes right to a bleeding wound on the
Yes,
inside and
that's true.
causing excruciating pain.
That's true.
Interesting. I'm going to come back to you and let's hear then how you were able to overcome that. But I first want to ask Khat. Now, something similar through our empowerment coaching and through relationship with self, and just being intentional with this, what's a thought you found, or what was a pattern of thinking that you found in your life that wasn't helping you?
It was not helping me before when I was not here was I don't know anything at all.
Wow.
Because I'm just in the house, babysitting, doing nothing because all the chores done was all by my mother. And I'm just sitting my baby. I'm just playing her, feeding her, just all the baby stuff. And I don't know how anything at all.
So tell me the thought again. I don't know how to do anything.
Yes.
And you believe that
Yeah,
thought. I don't know how to do anything. And when you would think, I don't know how to do anything, how would you feel?
I feel sad because I don't know I don't know how to work. I don't have the job. I don't have the income. And I feel there's scarcity, what do you call that?
Scarcity.
Yes. Yeah. Scarcity with my thoughts. I'm not enough. I cannot be anything at all before.
Now I just want to say to the viewer and to both of you, the reason I ask how do you feel when you think that this is a technique and a tool in evaluating our thoughts. So we isolate a thought, we find out something that we're thinking, and then we test it to see how it makes us feel. Does it give us power?
Yes.
Or does it drain our energy? Does it make us sad or give us peace? Does it give us pain or joy? We can look at that. And because some thoughts are can be obvious that they're not empowering us, but other thoughts can be a bit sneaky. And yet, because they might sound good, but yet they're not giving us any power to move forward. So when you feel sad, I would assume that it was hard to be motivated to do anything, right? Because you're thinking,
I can do nothing.
I can't do anything. I can't do nothing.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not enough.
Yes.
Now though, but now you know that you were thinking that because you've gone through this work, right?
Yes.
But at the time, did you know you were thinking that?
No, not at all. It's just feel that I cannot do anything. It's just like that. I'm just being in a box that I can't do anything. If I go there, I need to pull someone beside me just to toss me, and then I will just ask him, you better do that one for me.
Yeah.
But
it just feels like a fact, right?
Yes.
When you're thinking these things and you believe it, it just feels true. It's just your truth. But you're not knowing that you're thinking these things and what it's producing. This is the work. This is what we do.
Yes.
And it's incredible. And it's actually, it's work, but it's also incredibly liberating to find it and to shift this in our life, and also gives us our power back. We have a choice. We don't have to just stay thinking the same thing. I like to say this statement is that all thoughts are optional. Actually, all beliefs are optional. So just because you believe it and think it now and it feels like fact and truth, it's your thinking. So you have to decide if you want to keep thinking that or you want something that's going to help you. Okay, so Juvs, let's come back to you. Right? And you were specifically through the relationship with self course able to find this one thought. You mentioned that there's others, but one was, I am dumb.
Yes.
I can't do it. So once you found that, once you realized you were thinking that, what did you do?
I cried.
It's okay to take some time.
I
Feel the
sleep
emotion.
and then
Did you?
get rested and then deal with it.
Okay, well, yeah.
I managed to really deal with it. Anyways, what I did is that I stopped denying it, that I was really thinking it.
Good point.
Yeah.
Excellent point. Stop denying it.
Or rebuking it, that it's from the devil, it's the voice of the enemy, That's so true. I really did that, Enemy stopped, but it wouldn't stop because it was actually me thinking that.
That is such a great point.
And so, yep, I faced it. I said, okay, this is how I think about it. What's going on inside? I think it's going back to what's really going on in there and in me. And why do I think that it's probably what the thing that helped me was asking God. Definitely is like, Lord, why do I think about this with myself when I know belief gaps,
right.
when I know, or I have done things already in the past that I did so well, but every time there's a new task that's given to me, this is always the first thing that comes to mind. And again, God has brought me to different memories again, and how somebody told me that I cannot achieve anything. It's not, I was compared to someone who was better. And so every time that was like really hurtful when I remember that, because that was the cause of me thinking that I'm dumb, I can never achieve something, or I am not able
I would
to
assume
do it.
you were a kid at that time, right? Or
Yeah.
Teenager, or
I was a teenager.
Okay.
I wasn't a kid anymore. So
Teenager.
yeah, it
but
was
still,
really
we're
hurtful.
we're still moldable. We're still forming our beliefs about ourselves.
Yes.
Especially when we're kids, but even into our teenage years.
Yeah.
And that would have just made this huge impression.
Yes.
And you started believing it.
Yeah. So when I was starting to believe that, and yeah, that was really disempowering, thought. What I did was that, I think from our relationship to self course, we also ask ourselves what would be the empowering words or thought or line that could also combat that, I guess. And that wasn't, the word that comes to mind wasn't I'm intelligent, because it did not feel real to me.
Right. Okay.
It wasn't I'm smart. It did not sink in or settled in me, but it was I can learn.
Wow.
And so, and with that, I can learn. It is more realistic in me, and I am more empowered to do something that was given to me, or a new task that was assigned to me. So, yeah.
Powerful. That's, yeah. Yes. And I love what you just said, that we have to find a new thought that also feels true and is believable. There's times that we're like reaching towards something, a new thought and a belief system, and we are working to renew our mind to that. And that's great. And like, we're in faith for this. But we also have to find thoughts along the way that will progress us toward it. If we can't jump from here to here, then maybe there's something that will go here. But in this case, I love that new thought that God gave you, that you came up with processing this with the Lord, because that just opens the whole future, your whole life. No matter what's given to you, I can learn. I might not know now,
That's
but
right.
I can learn.
That's right.
It's so empowering.
That's really good.
I think it's even better than I'm intelligent, to be honest, or I'm smart, because it's not. So maybe in those thoughts, sometimes we think, oh, then I know it all. That wouldn't be good either, right? But in this case, it's an acknowledgement that you don't know something, but it doesn't mean you're dumb. It just means you don't know, and that you can learn.
Thank you, Jesus.
Powerful. Yeah, it really is good. And I love doing this kind of thought work. And I just want to point out too, because the title of this is Thoughts I Think About Myself. So imagine a new task comes, there's a circumstance, it triggers that thought and that feeling. I am dumb. And you're like telling yourself I'm dumb, but then you're fighting it, right? You don't give into it, you push it down, and you overcompensate and actually do things better, is what was happening, like with excellence, which is great, but we don't want to be operating from negativity in our life. So that's just, that's amazing. There was what was I going to say? I was reiterating what's happening to you. I feel like there was a good point I had. Anyways, awesome that she went from that place and processed that with the Lord and came to that. Okay, let's turn to Khat now. So that was your thought.
Yes.
I can't do anything. How then did you, first of all, when did you come to the realization that you were thinking that?
Since you taught us about stillness technique, as Juvy said a while ago. You have to grab your thoughts and think positive way of that thought. And then I asked myself, during that time, I have 2 jobs, the Global Impact and the Film Life, and I can do makeup. I can do emerge things into beautiful things.
Yes.
And then I'm a talented person. I can do things on my own. I can be someone I want to be.
Yeah.
Because before I'm nobody. But then after that one, I can be someone if I want to be. I can be talented. That's why it kept on repeating me, and then it helped me myself. It helped boost myself. I can. Before, I don't want to touch you because you're so more very, very, we know. And then you love the work that I did, and I realized that I can do her.
If she likes it, I can do anybody. Am I that tough of a customer? Yeah,
No, you're the
probably.
just a little.
It's true. I do. I acknowledge that.
Yeah, that's why I can other people that it's not that top one that has standards.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome. So again, previously you were thinking, I can't do anything.
Yes.
And it left you in a box because you were thinking it. Now you had the talent the whole time. Let's just point this out.
That's true.
She had the talent the whole time, but because of her thoughts,
Yes.
you were sitting just in that
Yeah,
limitation.
limitation.
Not because you didn't have the ability. This is crazy to me when we really evaluate it.
Yeah.
When you had a breakthrough of thinking, of how you
Yes.
talk to yourself, of how you believe about yourself. I remember what I was going to say before. I'll come back to it, okay? Well, I will say it this way. There's some things that we say to ourselves that we would never say to somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, so for Juvy, if she was telling herself, oh, I'm dumb or I feel dumb. But you wouldn't go around saying that to other people. But you ever, and if she did it, we'd say, oh my gosh, that is so mean. You wouldn't go around to other people saying, you just can't do anything.
Yeah.
You just can't. But yet we're mean to ourselves inside.
That's true.
We say things to ourselves we would really never say to somebody else unless we were really mad, right? But my point is that it's like really, we got to see how we treat ourselves, right? So you went from the thought process of, I can't do anything. You came in and through the coaching, through our group coaching session, you isolated that thought, realized you were thinking it, and then transformed it into I am talented.
Yes, definitely.
Which is the actual truth.
Yes.
And we see it and we affirm her all the time, but she had to think it. She had to come into the thought process and believe that. And from that belief and thought, she produces so well. And yes, I do know I am a tough customer. So, but what's awesome is her talent, her ability, and her believing in herself has even helped me launch into new looks, in case some of you have noticed. So look at the influence that's there, but it goes back to what you believe about yourself. And you said earlier, as we were discussing this topic in this interview, that one breakthrough still like feeds you today, still gives you fruit.
Continue every day. Because as you said, as we talk, if I have the opportunity to make you up, and then we're talking about the house need to be clean once in a while, and the thoughts we need it to clean also. It's keep on reminding me, we need to clean our thoughts and renew it again and again, because we might forget that one, because we have many thoughts, as you said before, that we have too many things that going through in our minds. That's why we need to declutter the thoughts that we have, and then throw it away, the bad things, and put good ones.
Right.
Yes.
I love that. Yeah, that's the analogy that we don't just clean our house once, or I hope we don't. Right? Like,
Sometimes.
how about showering? The standard is like to clean your body at least once a day. Normally a shower a day and more. And when we're in the Philippines, that's one thing I love about Philippine culture, that they shower a lot. But anyways, point is here, we don't just take one shower a month, right? Or a year. I hope. we clean ourselves, we clean our house, we clean our cars, we clean our clothes, all of that, and we don't just expect it to stay in order. We continue to clean it and put it back in order. And how much more our soul, our thinking, and our thoughts.
Yes, that's good.
Let's just take an evaluation each day, and also not get so upset if we find something. Oh my gosh, why am I thinking this again? I'm back around the same mountain. No, maybe you just have to declutter. I love that. Just declutter again, keep it in order, and build the pattern of thought.
Yes.
Build the pattern of thought. It's so great.
That's really good.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, Juves, what else do you want to say about this topic? And like kind of the fruit that it's brought in your life.
I think what I can say is that it's never easy to face up or like acknowledge all those negative thoughts that you have, because sometimes, again, you think that, oh, this is such a bad thing. Your thought, you sometimes think, or I sometimes think that this particular negative thought becomes like the wholeness of you. Like your thought is not the whole you. I just want to reiterate that, like, maybe you have a negative thought, but it doesn't mean that all your thoughts are already negative. You also have to look at the positive or the good things about yourself. And that is very important. We sometimes get to always magnify. I don't know why, but my brain, maybe not your brain, goes to the negative first
before the positive.
Do you feel that? Do you think that? But yeah, that's the first thing that goes to my head. And I just heard decluttering or cleaning again your house or your thoughts, and that is really good. And applying that every day will really help myself to really think good thoughts about myself, and that will help me and empower me to do or achieve the things that I want to do. So,
Very good. Yeah. And I also like looking for thoughts that are empowering me, and then how do I take it even to another level of empowerment?
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Like we don't always have to just be focusing on the negative. I mean, there are sometimes we got to do some deep cleaning, right? But once we've done the deep cleaning, let's also take things that are good or neutral and then take it to the next level. I had an experience, which I'll share another time when I'm more ready, but like something I was thinking all my life and what I identified with, and it wasn't not a negative at all. In fact, in some ways positive, but it was still keeping me in a limitation. And through doing relationship with self, I was able to stop identifying so much with a classification and move into a whole nother revelation. So this one wasn't bad. It was fine. It was producing a decent fruit in my life. But this one, I'm waiting for the amazing fruit to come from it, because it's so much more, the belief is so much better. And I love that as well, right? So we're not just focusing on the negative. We take these same tools and techniques and we apply it to really any thought, even thoughts that are working for us, you know? Okay. How about you? Any last thoughts or ideas or comments on this?
Yeah, before you act to something, you need to think also for the other person.
Yes.
You always have to have a benefit of the doubt for the other person, because you never know what he's been going through.
True. Yeah.
Since you know how to process your thoughts, that's why you need to process also their thoughts in order for you to feel good. Because you never know.
You don't know what other people are going through. Yeah, and why they act the way they do. And we can take it so personal at times, can't we? When sometimes it's not even personal about us. But it's triggering us personally. Yes, I have experience. Shall we have a prayer session right now? Oh, man. It's so exciting. So exciting to grow all the time. Okay. Well, I hope that this has expounded as we share. And as Juvy and Khat, thank you so much for sharing from your own experience, because I really 100% believe and know that as we hear from others and what's happened from both of you, and that it can help each of us grow. And I believe that there's tools here, things that we've talked about in just real simplicity form. Analyze your thought. Take a thought captive, feel it, and don't just try to immediately change it. Like, oh, I just know this is the truth. But if it's not becoming your truth yet, you've got to do some processing work. And so I think sometimes we're just too quick to try to change something and just try to think positive. I'm all for that. But I actually have a term that I want to teach on sometime, and it's not just positive thinking, it's truth thinking.
That's good.
right?
Yes.
Because positive thinking can be like, I'm just forcing myself to think this, but
Yes.
way down deep, there's still something else fighting against that. And we've got to pull this out
In
and
order.
get the truth in here. That's the belief gap. And then so it's truth thinking. So it feels true. It's not, we're just not trying to make it our truth, knowing it should be our truth. And we got to take some time to do that and have some awareness and understanding. So let's all have truth thinking. But what can we all implement? Let's declutter our mind, our thoughts. To declutter, though, you first have to find out what's there.
Yeah.
And you take the thought, you feel it, you see what it's doing for you. Is it giving you energy or is it taking your energy? Is it giving you power or it's disempowering you? Is it giving you pain or is it giving you peace? I'm actually going to put all this in a course for us soon. But we can evaluate it. And if it's not actually helping us, then what do we do to change it? And of course, one thing is just say, Jesus, what is the truth?
Yeah.
I'm thinking this. I'm believing this now. I don't want to. I don't want to think and believe I'm dumb. I know it's not the truth, but somehow it feels like my truth right now. What is the truth? And then maybe he will just speak right into your spirit and heart and say, you're talented. You can
I
learn.
can learn.
Yeah, that was yours. I can learn. I might not know now, but I can learn.
Yes.
And it just, it's your truth now, huh?
Yes.
Or for Khat, I'm talented. You see how this works, and it becomes our truth here. I want to ask you again that if you didn't see our session on belief gaps, there's 2 sessions. There's a teaching, and then there's a part 2 where Juvy and I discussed the belief gap and how she was able to close the gap in terms of the Father God loving her and getting that from an external truth into the truth in her heart. And this will help you in this technique. So thoughts you think about yourself, think positive. Do think positive. Think truth thoughts. But to think the truth thoughts, you first got to uproot the negative that's there. Okay. God bless you all. And I just pray over you and release God's grace and power and love. You would know that he loves you, that he empowers you, and that you can love yourself. Even in the places that don't look so nice right now, those are the parts that need the most love. So love yourself, even in what looks messy. Love yourself there so that you can grow. And Jesus is always there. Father God is always there to love you. He didn't come into the world to condemn you. He came to save you, to help you, and to grow you in so many different ways. Okay, we love you. You are a limitless person. You are powerful. You're amazing. You're a treasure. You are a child of God. God bless you.